Hey Mustangs, welcome to this Wednesday edition of the Daily Update. I'm Shaye Galen. Let's get to the news. A 5-day manhunt comes to an end in Florida. That story tops today's Mustang Minute. The search is over in Florida as officials arrest a suspect related to the killing of a Florida deputy. Deputy Josh Moyers was shot twice as he was sitting at a traffic stop last Friday. He died 2 days later from his injuries. Authorities located the suspect, Patrick McDowell, at a ballpark in the town of Callahan. He's being held without bond. Monday was the deadline for tens of thousands of New York workers to receive their COVID-19 vaccine. The mandate requires public school employees, healthcare workers, and state court officials to get the vaccine. The deadline was issued last month by the New York State Health Department following the full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. New York's governor says she is ready to declare a state of emergency to allow healthcare professionals outside of the state to practice should employment in hospitals drop because of the mandate. It's 5 life sentences without parole plus 345 years. That is what Jared Ramos was sentenced to after he was convicted of killing 5 family members of Maryland's Capital Gazette newspaper. The killings happened back in 2018. The judge found that Ramos was criminally responsible for the attack on the Gazette and rejected his plea of insanity. Ramos allegedly had a vendetta against the newspaper because of an article one of his editors had written about his guilty plea in a harassment case back in 2011. A female hiker is facing a felony charge for her alleged involvement in the Fawn fire in Northern California that has been burning for a week. Officials say the day the fire began, Alexandra Suverna was hiking in the area. She was told to leave. She refused. She told authorities that she was trying to start a fire to boil water, but it was too wet and the fire would not start. Suverna had a cigarette lighter in her possession when she was detained by authorities. She has pleaded not guilty to being responsible for starting the fire. Millions have missed their second dose of the coronavirus vaccine. It means the COVID-19 pandemic is not going away. SMU-TV's Kevin Reynolds has the story.
That's right, Shaye. SMU students are again grappling with day-to-day life amid the coronavirus.
Things are returning to normal on SMU's campus these days. SMU football games are back, homecoming is coming up, but behind all of it is the knowledge that COVID hasn't actually gone away. Nearly 2.1 million Texans have missed their second dose of the COVID vaccine, and that means that nearly 2.1 million people are still at risk to contract the coronavirus. It has put SMU students in a difficult spot.
I got the vaccine, so, I'm doing my part. And, well, yeah, there are some people who don't have the vaccine, but I just hope that I'll still be safe because I got it.
Doctors have blamed vaccine hesitancy on 3 main things. The first is apathy. The second is sometimes it is difficult to actually get to vaccination sites. But the third is a lack of knowledge. It's something Pfizer's latest campaign is trying to combat.
I don't feel unsafe having people not take the second dose, but that's just my personal opinion. I think if people are going out, you're obviously taking that risk of you might get COVID. So.
SMU continues to offer vaccines, including right here at the Armstrong Performance Center. But for now, it's really about students empathizing with others.
This week they actually can't get the COVID vaccine for health reasons. And so I'm really careful about how I'm taking care of her, but there's only so much I can do.
SMU administration is urging students to upload their vaccine status to the Mustang Health Portal to get a more accurate grasp of immunity rates on campus. And that's your Mustang Minute.
So the Vietnamese Student Association is a group of planners right now, and we plan events around Vietnam's culture, cuisine, and general life.
So we know it might not be the most popular culture, but I think that's all the more reason that we should get it out to people.
Each week we'll gather around and sell boba for about 3 hours on Friday at value because all the profits head towards a weekly charity, and currently we're doing human trafficking.
So when I came here, I thought it was so great how strong the Asian community was, and they were there for each other, and they kind of supported each other. People of your own culture, they'll understand your cultural experiences more, and y'all will just share certain aspects, and it's important to be able to talk to those people and kind of celebrate that.
Follow VSA on Instagram at SMU.VSA.
Hey Mustangs, I'm Sel Rogers, here with your 5-day forecast. Wednesday will be hot and humid with a high in the mid-80s and a low in the 70s. Thursday, we've got a 50% chance of rain with a high in the upper 80s and lows in the lower 60s. Friday, there's a 70% chance of rain with a high around 80 and a low around 70. The rain will continue on Saturday with a high in the mid-70s and a low in the upper 60s. Sunday, the sun will swing back around. We'll see highs in the mid-80s and a low of 64. Don't forget your umbrellas this week, Mustangs. The rain is headed our way. I'm Sel Rogers, and that is your 5-day forecast.
So this week we had Baldwin, and they came to show us more about their brand and brought some of their sample products for their spring clothing line.
Retail club's a really great way to get involved in not only the Dallas community, but SMU as well. It's a really great way to network.
We're not just a club where you have meetings and do things. We need to go out into the city and meet people and do fun events.
Email smuretailclub@gmail.com to join the retail club today.
After searching for decades, a man from Kentucky is getting the chance to take a trip down memory lane in the car that belonged to his late mother. John Barry's father bought a Cutlass Supreme lime green convertible for his mother Janice back in 1971. John's mother passed away unexpectedly when he was 15, and John never had the chance to keep any of her personal belongings. Barry says the car stayed with his dad about 4 or 5 years until he sold it. The more John thought about the car, the more his memories of him and his siblings in that car grew. So Barry reached out to the person that bought the car, and after 20 years of convincing, John was reunited with his mother's car this week. I can imagine that meant a lot to John. Well, that's all we have for you today, Mustangs. Remember, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/SMU Television and follow us on Twitter at SMU-TV. If you have any story ideas, shoot us an email, smutv@smu.edu. Thanks for watching this Wednesday edition of the Daily Update. Tune in Thursday for more news from the Hilltop. Until then, have a great day and pony up.
SMU-TV and the Division of Journalism want to thank our underwriters, North Park Center in Dallas, Javier's Gourmet Mexicano on Cole Avenue, and Advance ER off West Lovers Lane. We appreciate your support of student media.